and demanding their rights. We all have rights, but I don't know why anybody would want to immigrate to another nation and fly the flag of the nation they're fleeing. That's illogical. It doesn't make any sense. But yet that's what I'm seeing amongst a lot of the Trump protesters. Illogical behavior. And claiming that they're not haters when they're, smashing up police cars and intimidating, terrorizing people and being violent, being downright violent. Okay, how is this? These are not the people you want to kowtow to. They are, like Trump says, these are thugs. And they're engaging in thug-like behavior, and a lot of them are being paid by George Soros Foundation-type foundations for $30 an hour to do this, being bussed in. In fact, they just found out in Dallas, Texas, this was the case. They were jumping, loading them in and off buses to go and protest Trump rallies. This is something all you Hillary supporters need to understand, what's going on here. But, the press is on the side of Hillary because she's status quo, she's establishment, she's the least likely to rock the boat, to protect your 401k, protect the business interests, and to just keep things a slow trajectory of descent, this increasing the wealth disparity, slowly increasing poverty like the Band-Aid. We'll pull it off, so we'll ramp up the welfare we're offering with this Cloward and Piven strategy, because we can't just do it all at once, because people will be so outraged. If we just took away all the welfare at once, people would be outraged. So we've got to pull it off real slow like a Band-Aid. We've got to get people trapped and dependent on these welfare programs, and that way we have more power and control and clout. We can turn up the pain monster at will. We can say, you don't want your taxes to go up? Well, that's their fault that you're off food stamps. It's their fault that there's no more money for Section 8. They don't want their taxes to go up. They're anti-tax. They're anti-communist. They're anti-socialist. They're the bad ones. They're anti-capitalism, okay? Because that's essentially what it comes down to. Capitalist, you're bad that I'm going to raise your rent because you're anti-capitalist. I'm a capitalist and I'm your landlord. I should be able to raise your rent at will. That's capitalism, free market, supply and demand, right? No, it isn't. You see, everything is mixed up. It's like Babylon now. Everybody's in deep, profound confusion. Very intelligent people on the left and the right are being duped. They're being deceived and lied to. And this is not a reflection on your morality, your moral fiber or compass. This is not a reflection on your intelligence, your IQ. Okay? This is just a matter of fact. We are deceivable beings. It means somebody is able to lie to you and you are able to believe it. You are believing somebody telling you the truth, not a lie. That's the whole nature of being deceived, being tricked. That's how people get cheated. They get duped in this manner. And so that's the whole lot of us. That's humanity at large. It's not understanding the big picture of how profoundly and acutely we're being manipulated by this illegitimate gaggle of murderous thugs at the top of the economic dog pile that don't want people to figure out that we can be free, and this is how you do it. They don't want you to know. We've got to get to the source, the root cause, the money printing operation. And short of gaining control of the money printing operation by we the people, and we demand justice, we demand progress, and the indicator, the evidence of that progress is that your currency starts going up in worth. That's it. That's the new trajectory. That's the new trend, far into the distance, in perpetuity, as a means to an end. Total freedom, where we don't even care about money anymore because we're all so rich. We've all got so damn much money that we don't care about it anymore. We're too busy having fun and playing, doing our thing, okay, where we're not worried about Victor Hugo's philosophy about men, prosperity breeding monsters and adversity making men, okay, because our new paradigm is one of freedom from birth. That's the only reality we know. We train our kids to participate, to use your God-given talents and get out there and be part of this whole contributing to society because it feels good to your conscience. You have an instinct not to be sit around being lazy and self-serving and decadent, okay? But you can't be somebody else's conscience. And unless you yourself say, well, I need Big Brother, so I'm going to make sure he needs Big Brother. No, If you need a big brother, someday that's going to be your problem. You'll have to be your own big brother. That's what having a conscience means. So, you know, it's a two-way street, and we all have to agree to the same set of rules. There can be no preference. There can be no exceptions. There can be no privilege, no exclusions. We've got to say, look, what's right for me is right for him and her and all of us. Sometimes you do have to confine people when they're not safe, okay, to be free amongst the people. And this is the whole idea that eventually God is going to be the decider of how we get separated. That's what's written in the last days before the end of the age. And when that day finally comes, a great and terrible day of the Lord, that's the day of reckoning. God is going to be the one that decides the separation between the sheep and the goats, the grain from the weeds, the wicked from the righteous. Only he has that kind of wisdom. And the holy angels that he's bringing, this whole array, this multitude of holy angels that are the harvesters of the souls of men. Only he has the wisdom to decide who is wicked. We cannot read into the heart and mind of another human being, no matter how wicked they are perceived to be. We've got to give them the benefit of the doubt and hold our hand out to the bitter end. All these Bilderbergers, all these bankster class, the money printing, these elitist hypocrites, by their fruits we know them. They stink to high heaven. So, I'm not being hypocritical by saying that they're wicked and saying still we need to give them the benefit of the doubt and reach out to the bitter end, stay close to our friends but closer to our enemies to the bitter end. Because all heaven rejoices over one sinner that repents than 99 righteous men that don't need to. So it all jives, okay, albeit it's a little unsettling and paradoxical. It's just the way it is. We've got to be shrewd. We've got to be smart. We've got to get into the mind of the criminal in order to put them down. And we got to be like God. So we got to let that separation. If we want to separate the wicked from the righteous, like God is going to do, that's coming. That's the whole part of the renewal of all things. And he sends them to that place called hell, underground, where they have to live together, all the hypocrites together. The little hypocrites, the little bitty hypocrites, and the great big hypocrites. All sin can be forgiven, but the sin that's not forgivable is this blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. That's lying. That's unconfessed sin. That's saying I fail to acknowledge my sin because I've got this thing called false pride, ego. And I just can't let go of that because I feel like I'd be destroyed if I did that. Well, you won't be destroyed. You got to let it go. If you want to be found worthy to inherit the kingdom of heaven, you got to let it go. Let the false pride go. And say, no, God, I confess my sins. I admit them. I don't want them. I want to be perfect in your sight. I want to be right in your sight in every way. I want a clean and pure heart. I want to live together in peace and harmony, safety and security, freedom and prosperity and liberty with my fellow human being in a renewed world. And I want to be away from those hypocritical monsters, that illegitimate gaggle of overlords, those big brother types that wanted, those dictator types that were telling me one thing but doing another, okay? That wanted one thing for me and my kids, which wasn't good. It was impoverishment, deliberate impoverishment. The message was just still die under a bridge. That's social Darwinian. And we're the good guys to try to save the earth. Okay? Okay, that's not the message that's being sent out from God, the Most High God, the Creator God. That message is that I love you, you're precious treasure to me, and all I want is friends. And I want you to love me of your own free will and accord. I want you to serve me in that manner. And here's what I promise. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to be free. You're going to get this body that's vastly better than the one you have. It can't get diseased. It can't die. And you can live in a world that's free from every negative thing out there. There's not going to be one bad thing that exists in that world anymore. And ready yourself. Use the imagination I gave you is what he says. And come to me. And help bring others to me. Help win other friends for me. And I promise you, you won't lose your reward. Everyone that's given a cold drink of water to one of these little ones that loves me, I swear they will be rewarded. So, God bless everybody. I love everybody. I wish the best for everybody. And a shout out to Matt out there. Hey, it was nice to meet you, brother. And we're fellow info warriors. And, speak the truth to power. Fight the good fight. Do what you can and try to keep your peace of mind about you and enjoy your life. We not only have a right,